Yeah, it'd just be better if I just pop on in. Oh, I'm here. Camera's a little messed up, though. Camera's a little messed up. So is the mic. Although I... Yeah. Alright, we gotta add something in here. Hold on. This is... There we go. That should do it. All right. I think the first thing I want to check out, honestly, is this.
New Hytale update is here and it finally adds taming, a new tool, and improved movement mechanics. We also have confirmation that Hytale's bigger updates will be released as A new Hytale update is here and it finally adds taming, a new tool, and improved movement mechanics. We also have confirmation that Hytale's bigger updates will be released as chapters to a much bigger story that we will follow along with over time. We're gonna get into that, but first the changes are as follows. The headline feature is that Hytale now has taming. You can tame lots of different animals around the world, but you need their favorite foods. Luckily, there is an easy way to find this out. Simply walk up to a mob, interact with it. By default, it should say press F to tame, and a thought bubble will appear above its head with the desired food. I do believe it's the same food for each mob every time.
I didn't see any patch notes, no.
Horses like carrots, cows and sheep like cabbages, chickens like corn, pigs like turnips, mosshorns like potatoes, bison like cauliflower, boars like pumpkin, goats like apples, and camels like tomato. In fact, they're also rideable as well when you tame them. And rabbits like carrots. I did try to give cheese to a mouse at one point, but no bueno. I'm sure there are lots more to find, but I don't want to spoil them all here, plus the team will likely add more in future. The animals, once tamed, will follow the food item in your hand, so now they can be led around much more easily and be captured. This does also work on the baby variants, I confirmed. You can actually pet your tamed animals with an empty hand by interacting with them, and many of them can be fed once in a while. The update notes say that some of them can also be milked. I imagine that's the cows and the mosshorns, as well as sheared or mounted. The best part about this is tamed animals will not run away from players unless they're specifically hit. The animals will also occasionally greet them with a little animation that I believe you can see when you first tame them. I'm sure people are going to love that Hytale have added this, and so quickly as well. Being able to tame many of the brilliant and beautiful, vibrant mobs that you meet around the world, that's what players wanted,
this is nice.
And now not having to steal as many of them in capture crates. A new tool has been added to the game, sickles, which you can craft at the farmer's workbench. You can use this tool to harvest multiple crops at once. We were asking for this, and they clearly heard the community's cries. Climbing has now been updated. For example, you can now sidestep, drop down, and rotate around ropes more easily. Hopefully, this clip I'm showing displays it somewhat effectively. I know I was having a lot of issues with ladders and climbing ropes, especially in some parkour courses I've been playing on servers. As far as content, they say they've updated a number of prefabs, although they don't mention which ones specifically. Now though, some will no longer spawn with workbenches or chicken coops, making them a little harder to find and more necessary to craft. Chicken coops are pretty high up in the farming workbench progression, and it was pretty easy to come across an alchemy or arcanist workbench in a prefab. Behold and rejoice, there is now a green variant of the rhino toad, as if we didn't have enough problems with the current version. Short bows and crossbows can now directly shoot arrows from within your backpack. I know people are gonna love this one.
Oh, that's great. That's amazing.
The farming bench tier requirements have been rebalanced. Tier 3 now needs drywood log instead of redwood, and tier 6 needs redwood instead of drywood. So a quick swap there. The crafting time for early game items like crude ammo, weapons, and tools is now instant, with the builder's bench and chicken's coop being slightly quicker craft times. They added random block ticking for the spreading of grass, so hopefully this will be able to fill your bases pretty quickly. Overall, NPCs have improved target switching, and the flamethrower has had some tweaks. The VFX have been updated, plus it's a little quicker to shoot. As far as modding and creative updates, there's now a warning when loading into into a world if you're missing mods that were used in that world beforehand. The creative world hub that players spawn in is now called the Crossroads, maybe a little hint there at the story or lore to come. Improved navigation for the server lists, plus a scroll bar to help navigate mods when you have a lot of them. The rest of the changes are here on screen, but the team are continuing to fulfill their promise of weekly updates.
Warning when loading. Return to Crossroads. Oh, this is the stuff he was talking about. Updated packet handler. Okay, rename light. Oh, okay.
For bug fixes and general improvements, there's a huge list as always, which I'll throw on screen right now for you to read through. They updated the world
Crashes
map
for
and chunk
Linux.
updates to use their own
I forgot
streams,
this was
which
on
hopefully
Linux.
makes your worlds load a bit easier. They fixed a crash related to creative tool previews when undoing and reapplying very large changes. They also fixed crashing for when a skin fails to be saved, and on Linux when opening a folder without Nautilus installed. They fixed some issues where floating trees would appear in the world generation. They've adjusted the player hitbox when sitting and sleeping. They fixed an issue with the spawn suppression system crashing upon regenerating chunks. They fixed an issue where respawning inside of a portal world would leave the player in a zombified state. They fixed an issue with full bright toggling that prevented full brightness occurring when entering creative mode. They fixed an issue whereby some unlucky fish would somehow spawn in lava. That's sad. They fixed a number of village furniture items incorrectly requiring a
fish spawning in lava
instead of an axe.
Oh boy.
They fixed a number of issues related to clouds when the weather transitions. Fixed an issue with fire spread above 256 blocks. That's cool and probably a result of the testing by players over the last week. They fixed an issue with durability where dying would cause some carried items to incorrectly become unusable. They fixed a number of memory leaks and updated some grammar and removed some typos. All in good order, but I think a lot of them are important to go over, as it shows that they're not just tackling big features, they're tackling the small things as well. And I believe this is the final pre-release out of the set of 3 that Simon was considering update 3. Again, numbering these updates is pretty tricky, but I'm sure we're going to figure out an official cadence pretty soon. Hopefully the team can give us one. As mentioned, the Hytale team have confirmed that the bigger updates will change the state of our worlds as we go through early access. We're going to be following a kind of story arc. Quote, as we keep weekly updates rolling in early access for Hytale, we're also working in parallel on larger content updates delivered as chapters. These will slowly unfold the Cursebreaker story arc. When it reaches the final chapter, Orbis will be within reach and the game will be fully released. If you've been playing the exploration mode, you've probably noticed that the curse is quiet at the moment. That will change as the first chapter begins, and you'll need to make difficult choices that carry lasting consequences for the world around you.
They're making a story within exploration. That's pretty cool.
We're not going deep on narrative for early access, however. The Cursebreaker arc is how you'll see the game progress chapter by chapter. It's a journey we share with the community, and when it's done,
that's smart, actually,
for those who were there.
That's
Hytale
smart.
has a lot of potential, and that's a responsibility we don't take lightly. We're bringing in the right people, and we can finally just focus on making a great game. No funding concerns, fully independent. All that's left is to work hard, have fun, and keep engaging with our amazing community. Hytale also posted a new blog post to their website, hytale.com, stating, in today's blog post, we cover Hytale's NPC framework, diving into its current state, how it looks, and where we want to take it, with documentation, tutorials, and more. Now, admittedly, this is a really technical post for those wanting to mod and mess with the game more, but we do get some cool highlights. Most notably, we get some sheep animations being showcased in these videos here, including one where it attacks the player. Of course, it is just showcasing what's possible by manipulating the game, it's not in vanilla. We even see some sheeps battling with guns and swords. They showcase a more updated version of the Skeleton Praetorian, making smarter, more dynamic decisions in combat. This is thanks to their combat action evaluator. However, we likely still won't see this in the full release for a while, as NPC behavior is very sophisticated and requires a lot of time by skilled designers to perfect. There's also apparently lots of bugs in their system, as they've acknowledged it's incomplete and rough around the edges. So there's still work to be done on the foundations before they actually start adding really interesting NPC stuff. Although I do imagine we'll see it progressively bleed through into the game over
we don't
time
get to see
in
the
form of
skeletons
bosses,
fly
for
away?
example, or updates to the factions. The team say, quote, all of this leads towards the potential for creating proper bosses, encounters that will push our PvE systems to their absolute limits. There's a lot of work required to reach this point, far more than has been listed here, but we're laying it out step by step and working our way through it. With a bit more time, we'll make it all work. I said it in the last video, but thank you guys so much for helping us reach 100,000 subscribers. Click the video on screen if you want to watch more Hytale content. Use code Quebec if you want to upgrade your Hytale account. Stay safe and keep free.
And keep free. All right, that's pretty. That's good to know. That's good to know. That's a good update.
Answer a different question.
Oh, it just okay, so it just definitely went into another thing here. Don't know why I did that. There seems to be no patch notes because the patch isn't fully out. It's only in pre-release. So I'm probably going to be checking it out in pre-release too. I mean, that's good. The biggest thing I'm kind of interested in with that patch is the beast taming, or the taming in general. Excuse me. Like, the taming was kind of the biggest thing for me. What was the other news? Let me see. There's a couple things I've been looking at. There is apparently a free-to-play MMO that I kind of discovered on Twitter. So I'm gonna showcase a little bit of that. I'm not gonna really like take too long on that one. Wait a second. There it is. Oh. What's the catch? I don't know yet. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, the catch is I have no idea. That's the freaking catch. I have no idea. Let me test the message again. Okay, it works. Honestly, I hate the fact that nowadays every time I hear free play, it's immediately skeptical. Well, it's a good thing that you are skeptical about all that, because free to play is honestly just it's a trap. So I've been saying free to play has been was a trap for a while now. I'm sure people understand that, but now now it's like fully clear that free to play is a trap. Like, the only free-to-plays I can get around with are the ones that were like, okay, well, it'll cost you some money to get into the game in early access. The reason why they do that, because business-wise, they want to honestly see who wants it and see who doesn't want it. And PoE 2 did that. So that gives me confidence that they have confidence in the game. You see what I'm saying? Like, they have confidence to put a price on it. But that's me. That's not the same opinion as everybody else, I can tell you that for sure. Get rid of the game label. Okay. So we're just gonna showcase it a little bit. We're not gonna play too much of it, but I am gonna show you what it is. I already went into the Discord. The biggest thing I can say for sure about this game, they have a lot of they have a lot of people just like selling their goods and stuff, but not like real life trading or anything like that. It's like they go through the Discord to trade, sell, buy the stuff that they find out there. So I'm gonna show the game first, and then we'll get into it. And honestly, I wouldn't put it past you. Oh shit. I wouldn't put it past you guys to be super skept about this. And honestly, I'd be super skept too. So this is called Spirit Veil. You probably have seen it somewhere. I don't know the catch yet. I'm still trying to figure out what the catch is. Holy crap, that's loud. Oh my goodness, here. Yeah, again, I don't know what the catch is yet. Maybe it's like the gajillions and gajillions of people who are playing are selling their shit all over the place. I don't know. I'm an old man now. Let me get rid of the beard, because it really does make me look like an old fucking man, bro. Like... Yeah, it's a very simplistic, very... I would say it has a comfy, cozy feel. It's something I would see from, like, back in the early 2000s. This is what I'm talking about. So people will just stand there. I don't know if this is some sort of shop system or something like that, kind of like the retainer system that we have in 14. I don't know if it's that or something to that nature. I could tell you that it is simple. It is, you know, cozy in its own little smiley way. I picked up a sword for some reason. There's something else back there and I need to get. There's a mace. Novice shoes. Yeah, so it's a very simplistic free-to-play MMO, which kind of scares me that it's free-to-play. That's all I really could say. But when I was looking up on Twitter, one of the things that they put out there was that there's no microtransactions, no real money trading, none of that. And I'm like, so what's the catch? Is it like Dreadmiss, where it's like an experiment or something? It was like a 3D version of MapleStory, just without the mushrooms. The thing about that is that MapleStory had MapleStory 2, and that was 3D. Dismantle or craft. You can craft or dismantle. I see. So, I mean, like, I don't know what kind of game I can describe this, to be honest. Like, I'm level 5. Played a little bit of it. There's a bunch of, like, this is like area 1. So, like, and I guess I would go to the Trent Tail or the Forest Labyrinth. But it's this is a small MMO. This is a really small MMO. No pay to win, free to play with optional cosmetics, and supporter perks only. Yeah, I was crazy. Were you crazy? Because this makes... Oh my god. I think there has to be a button for me to pick everything up, you know? I wonder what that button is. Let's see. Hotkeys. Ooh, that's that damn. V is to pick up. Okay. So I'm not saying it's a red flag, I just pasted it because I remembered seeing that on the page. So they will have some microtransactions, but only time will tell if their supporter perks will be a big deal or not. So this is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do, because this would be a good time to actually start using that system in the Discord. I'm gonna pull it up. Shrek was not the first thing I wanted you to say. This is the Spirit Vale Discord, by the way, which I have not placed in my I have not placed yet in my there it is, the game folder here. Should really like name this, but it's the game folder and this is the personal folder. So in the Indie Observer, right under Indie submissions, if you have any kind of like news to tell for indie games, we're gonna like post something here. So like, for example, title, free to play, found an indie MMORPG that looks like MapleStory, and it's free to play with only cosmetics and perks. So, you know, you put your emotion here, or, you know, stickers or emoji. For me, I think I would have like the what emoji and all that other stuff in there. Strictly speaking, if you find a game or a new game, yeah. That's me. That I put that there. And you can post like pictures and stuff like that. So for like example, like this, I'm gonna take like a gigantic picture of it, and where is it? I might open up a folder. Oh, it did open up a folder. And it's taking so much longer. All right, we can get rid of that. Snip. And we post it. So that will happen. So that's what that looks like. So, okay. How about gallery? Yeah, I'm gonna look at it as a gallery. So if you do find something interesting, yeah, put it and look at what I found. So that was just an example of that. Seemed the stream did not like whatever it was. Yeah, well, you know, it's gonna have to get over it. It looks like the FPS. Oh, wait, hold on. Yep, the FPS is a little weird. Yeah, people playing here. Like, this is a playtest, by the way. This is a playtest. So it's like people going around just doing what they do. I'll be honest with you, I don't know which way they want you to go. Like, here's Trent, Forest, and if you go this way, they go to 10, 11, 15, 16, 20, 25, then 25. Guess you got to go back this way. Yep, it's 20, 25, 25, 26, 30. So it has a roadmap, like where it wants you to go. And I guess the max level is 130. But like the central concept of the game, right? I guess it's to go around, pick up stuff, go back. Oh, I'm weighted. That's why I'm moving slow. I'm gonna put up my intelligence for the heals. For now, I think there's really only just grinding mobs for leveling for now. I saw on the forums when I checked it a bit ago. You checked that fast, fucker. Okay. No, that's fine. Oh, it's B. B is the bag. And what am I looking? Oh no, I don't want to dismantle that. Okay. You first heard of this game? Okay, so you heard about this game like a while ago. Look at this. Has auto attacks and everything. And that guy's level 9. Oh, I forgot to press V to see if it works. Damn. Okay, V does work. Yeah. So V is definitely working. Okay, so there's the novice chest, which I don't have. I have no cast speed, movement speed. I think the cast speed is much better because I am a paladin. I am a paladin. This is the same shit I have before. Comparables, the same shit I have before. And these are the relics. I can't use, it doesn't seem like I have a relic thing that I can use it. Okay. And then there's material. I guess I keep the material. You can also just like, you should be able to teleport, but I wonder if the teleport requires something. Oh, it requires me to find the way marker, I think. Surprised these guys don't just like outright attack me. As part of a vid I had, my recommendations with the list of RPGs that someone tried this game and happened to be in it, and I got intrigued. Well, if nobody wants to take those, I'll take it and then I will sell it. Yeah, a lot of this is all about like making money and currency and all that other stuff. In my grand opinion, that's kind of like what a lot of MMORPGs are kind of defaulting to, where you just go around, kill mobs, get shit, get loot, which by the way, I'm all for getting loot. I love loot. I want loot. But when it comes right down to it, will that be appealing to, will that appeal to other people? Will people be into a game that's mostly get loot, get rich, trade, get rich more, you know? So that, I think that's the main issue that I have with this, is that I don't know if people are actually going to get into this. Well, that was bound to happen. Hello, bot. Hope Wise got yo ass. Loot Goblin is what you are. It's that true. Very true. But in my case, I'd be more interested in dungeon crawling than overall grinding. I'm interested in both. I'm sure this has dungeons somewhere. Hopefully, if it doesn't, then yeah. Can I use that? Damage by melee. That's the same thing. Oh, one's better than the other. But can I use it? It's grayed out. Has no gems. Yeah, it's grayed out. You know what? I don't think I can use this. It's grayed out. I just have a feeling that it can't be used because it's grayed out. So So far, the only game that really scratches my dungeon crawling itch was Fellowship. I'm waiting on the next update. We could take a. I should probably take a look at what's going on in Fellowship just as well. Look at these people over here, doing thousands of damage. It's just funny to watch them just all day start hitting and doing thousands upon thousands of damage. Now, in terms, I need to find a bank. That's what I think I need to find. Oh, I need a Vulcan shard and apparently some coins. I don't have any shards. Used by blacksmiths. I don't really have any shards. What about this guy? What do I do with him? Oh, storage. You're storage. All right, that was who I was looking for. What about you? What do you do? A healer. Oh, I'm healed. What about you? Gemstone. You can extract it. Oh, but there's no gems on any of those, so that would be kind of pointless. All right, I get you. I get you. You could just wow, this game is very quick and fast. And when I say quick and fast, I mean like you're off to the races real fast. What is the point of this entire city if nobody goes anywhere? I see 2 ports, right? I don't know. There's a shop. Vending not allowed on this map. Okay, so you can't vend. I guess that's what they meant by vending, is all those people out there are vending. Do they have to keep the game on or something? Like, what's up with that? Okay. My chat's kind of broken. Here, let me refresh this because it's my chat's kind of broken. Sorry about that. What you say? More likely just NPC hubs. If it's old MMOs, then it's more likely AFK selling. Okay, gotcha. What worries me is I mean, this looks like a fun game to just like, if you just want to start getting stuff and grinding for levels, I guess that's what you would play this game. And it looks appealing to people who are within this kind of, you know, like, look, little chibi anime style, I guess. And some of these are abilities, some of these are not abilities. Like, I need to get 1 on all of them just to make it to spear quicken or weapon throw or air cutter and endure cure. So I would have to go down this list just to make it to there. Shield mastery as well. You really, I think that's like part of the point there too, to make your own character and build and all that stuff. Decent time waster? Yeah, actually. All right, well, that was Spirit Vale. So far it doesn't look like it's too bad. Doesn't look too bad, from what I can tell. You did say something about Fellowship. The one thing that I wanted to see in Fellowship is to see if I can optimize it. Where is Fellowship? I swear to God it was around here. Yeah, it was right there. Yeah, we got you. We got you, Ryu. Yeah, we understand. We understand. Oh man, I've been watching a lot of Venom, by the way. Venom. I believe it or not, I only seen the first Venom movie, so I decided to watch the other 2 Venom movies. The first Venom movie holds. Let's just say. All right. Yeah, I was playing a lot of Tariq. but my go-to, even though she's dressed up as fuck, my go-to would probably be Miko as a tank. Why was it set to Asia? I have no idea. I have no idea. It means I gotta get the fuck out of here. I don't know why it's set to Asia. That makes no sense. Why is it set to Asia? That's weird. I didn't set that to Asia. It's always been default to US. Optimization is still kind of weird. Craftos. How far did I get with Miko? Oh, I got pretty fucking far with Miko for a little bit. And so I pretty much have all her abilities, right? Not all of them. I still got to go up this chain here. Yeah, see, this is my problem. The optimization of the game is pretty bad, so I gotta figure that out. It's always this, man. It's always this. Temporal anti-aliasing. I don't think I need anti-aliasing. I think that was the issue. I don't think I need anti-aliasing. Foliage epic. What the fuck? Keep it at medium. What the hell? And a lot of issues tied to the stronghold. Yeah, I believe you. I don't know what it's shining on. But I've kind of forgotten how to play. Of course. So wait a minute. I'm starting to remember. Wait. No. There was definitely more to this. I gotta read up on it again. I gotta read up on her again. I know the purple stuff with the buffs. You gotta set up your buffs first. I know that. I'll just read up on her again. I'll get back into it. It's an MMO, obviously. I get pretty acclimated real fast. I got snowballs. But I'll get into, like, on my off time I'll play a bit more Fellowship, but it doesn't seem as though a lot of people have been playing. Not in the traditional sense. It doesn't seem like a lot of people are playing right now. But that, I'll figure that one out later. Since I've been focusing on Final Fantasy. Game is very dry at the moment due to a big reset being around the corner. Yep. Which is fine. If you guys excuse me, I will go to the bathroom real quick. Just need to get... Hold on. Alright. So I will go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Really? Is that how my camera just goes in and out? Really? Nah, I'm not gonna... No. No. Better. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. There was some other stuff we need to go over. Some more indie stuff that I wanted to go over. Where's my cam? There it is. So there's some stuff that I needed to go over. We did Hightail already. So I'm glad they put Taming in there. Ugh. Let me see if there was anything else. Anything else? Anything else at all? Let me check. Good old Twitter. The hell? Hold on. Okay. Linky's watching Digimon. Oh, they're about to put a price on the game of Spirit Vale. That's news. That is news. And now I guess we're just going to go into Vaultbreaker. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. There is a couple of things that is popping in. Here, I'll show you.
Sup, Donkey? My name's Fabian. My team and I have been working on a game we think you'd really like. Donkey Kong Bonanza. I mean Demon Tides. In Bonanza you climb, in Demon Tides you can also climb. And you collect golden bananas. Gears. Golden gears. And in Bonanza you can roll off a cliff and jump. In Demon Tides you can dash off and jump. So many amazing jumps in Donkey Kong Demon Tides. You can unlock new skills in the skill tree via talismans. Yeah, talismans. You travel the open world ocean discovering cool shit. So much to love in Donkey Kong Bonanza. Demon Tides. I feel like I'm muddying the message here. Try out Demon Tides. I think you'll like it. Bananas. Sup?
Now, is this game out already? Because if it is, I'm immediately going to get it. What the hell? Sneak peek at the first Star Fox 2 boss. I suspect this... What the heck? What is this?
Massive Cornerian cipher gate signature detected.
Looks like a heavy carrier of some kind. He's ignoring my talk request.
I guess there's no talking our way out of this one. Slippy, get us weak points.
What is this? What am I looking at? Why is this not an actual game? All right. Oh, I've seen this like a billion times. The Coyote and the Roadrunner. This is actually fake. Because Roadrunners and Coyotes do not run faster than a plane. Hold on. I'm gonna save that. Give me 1 second. Putting something in my catalog. Okay, that should do it for the catalog. I had to put an anime into my catalog there. There we go. There isn't any other I say anime, indie news that I could think of or that I could see. Oh, Ananta, I guess it's coming out soon. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, there isn't really much of anything, so we're just gonna get into Vaultbreakers. Isn't that the GTA like that was supposed to be a gotcha, but removed it in mid-development? I guess, it would probably be prudent of me to go, I guess I should check and see if there's any news on that. But there was like a section in Twitter. There's like a whole section in Twitter right now where someone what? Oh god, I hate my life. Oh my gosh, I hate them so much. What the hell? Oh, okay. Let me see. Where is it? Oh my god. Oh. Where is it? I'm trying to find it, actually. There is a whole section. There's a whole section where there was people saying like, I'm tired of these gotcha anime games. And the funny thing was is that people were responding. There it is. Here it is. So there were people responding to this. I hate that anime action games are so afraid of making competent complex combat systems. I'm so tired of the tap X 5 times skill button ultimate button. Give me characters with diverse and complicated movesets that need some brain to use. I just want Devil May Cry 6. And then people started responding with shit like look at this. It was like play PGR, which by the way, no, don't play PGR. I don't think PGR is going to change much of anything. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. So yeah, it's the same shit. Like, you know, props to them for recognizing Devil May Cry 6, you know what I'm saying? Like, but then people started, where is it? People started putting in Tales games, saying like, I think you need to play a Tales game. See, like, everybody starts putting in Tales games. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Might not be DMC 6, but for the mobile game, probably the best experience you'll get for combat in any action gotcha game. By the way, this game collabs with DMC 5. Is it complicated? I don't know. I don't touch mobile games. Fuck them. Anyway, somebody put in Grand Blue Relink. Somebody put in this. Everybody was responding with other anime games. To be fair, this is a good one. It's the same with Wuthering Waves, of course. Are they talking about Wuthering Waves? I hope they're not. No, they're not talking about Wuwa. So yes, people started coming in with just like, hey, you probably should play this game. Hey, you should probably play this game. A lot of people have been putting the Tales series in there. I guess I have to go all the way down just to find it. But there was like people have been putting in like my favorite Tale. My favorite Tales series, however, is going to be Tales of Symphonia. But people have been putting in really good. Yeah, people have been responding saying play Tales. Play Tales. Get Tales back in there. I was just like, why don't we have more Tales games? Oh, that's right, because Tales of Arise kind of ruined the name because they put in a whole bunch of like freaking transactions in there and stuff. I was like, who's gonna play a Tales game when you have all that shit running around? You know what I'm saying? So but it was good. It was like great responses. I love it. Wuthering Wave is literally punishing Grey Raven's combat, but trying to be like Genshin. Honestly, look at this. I understand why they want Devil May Cry, because Devil May Cry is one of the best combat-oriented action games you could think of. It is great. But all gacha games are simple in nature in terms of combat because they don't have to think about like how the combat really works. Just like the elements that comes right off of it. There's the reason why I don't play gacha games. It's very uncomplicated. It's all style, no substance. I've said that like plenty of times. Look at all these people. They're given like, hey, you should play this, you should play that, you should play this, you should play that. Under Night in Birth. That's a fighting game, so they're putting in fighting games, but I'm pretty sure they're looking for like single player like action games and stuff like that. So this is probably one of the best responses I guess they have. What the no shot. I was just saying this, calling these mobile combat slop games. Also, that damn dash to sprint, I'm tired of that animation. And he posted all of the what is this? Zenless Zone Zero, Genshin Impact, and Arknight Infield. Arknight Infield is just going to be the same shit. That's all it's going to be. Arknight Infield is the same shit that you're going to get into. Play PGR. Styles, no substance. They said it has DMC crossover. Doesn't matter. All style, no substance. So, I guess that was. But yeah. This got so many responses for it. Arknight Genshin Impact. You think that people would be when they start praising Asia and their games, these are people who are so indebted into the simplicity of the combat that is Genshin Impact. They're not there for the combat. They're not there for the combat. The combat is absolute garbage. I'm sorry to say that, because I know a lot of people love those games. I know a lot of people love all those games, including Honkai Star Rail, which is it's not action combat. That's a turn-based game, but like it doesn't matter. All the gacha games, all those anime gacha games are basically the fucking same. Guess I gotta look up Ananta, see what's going on with that. You're on a building. You're in a city. The fuck? What? I've been having a blast with the beta. I feel like more people will enjoy it once it comes out to fully understand, but it's actually a really fun game, and I know Ananta is going to be a great game as well. It's the same anime bullshit. They're just retooling a lot of mechanics that you've seen in other past games. Like, if I wanted... Like, it doesn't make sense how you're driving a car in GTA and also flying around like Spider-Man. Pick one. one. Don't have both. And then they're gonna add like flying to it. Like pick one. Come on. Yeah, it's a shame people eat up this garbage, man. It's a shame people eat up this garbage. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's a shame people eat up this garbage. It's the same shit. People eat up this combat. Like, it's a shame. It's just a damn shame. I don't know why I picked that. That was loud as hell. Enjoying this game's vibe. Neverness to Everness is one of the worst names I have ever witnessed. I'm sorry. Neverness to Everness sucks as a title, but Where the Winds Meet, you know what? I'm not gonna say. Listen, I'm not. It's another free to play. I'm pretty sure, but I will only give it a pass due to the fact that people are enjoying it and there is like a different kind of combat. So I'll give it a pass. It's not a good game. People have been playing it and they've been loving it. I'm giving it a pass. I'm not playing it ever. I'm just giving it a pass. It's a free-to-play mobile game, yes, with ridiculous microtransactions. But is it fun to play, is the question, right? Neverness to Everness and Ananta are more gacha shit. It really is. And I think the sooner, it sucks because this is what a lot of people have grown up with. These are the games that a lot of people have grown up with all these fucking gacha games shoved into their face. So like when they're introduced to another game, they're not used to it. So they're used to the shit that they get from these free mobile games. So when they actually get a game that's more complex and has a lot more to it, they're not used to it. I think I'm trying to think. There was somebody did like research and experiments on this where apparently the process of, or the, you know, what games people like in terms of generation, millennials are more they're more thoughtful, they played more games that had you thinking, whereas the next generation had more games that guided. When I say ridiculous microtransaction, I'm talking about shit like 300 for a single mount. Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know why we're sitting here trying to defend that shit. I don't know why we're trying to defend it. Ananta is also Indian. I should have probably figured. I should have probably figured. Neverness to what is it? Neverness to Everness is why? Who thought that was a good idea? I think this game might beat Ananta. No, it's the same mobile UI bullshit. What how does this beat any Okay. All right, let's get into Vaultbreakers before I get mad. Let's get into Vaultbreakers because it's getting on my nerves. How many people are playing Silver Palace, also another one. How many people are eating up all this anime gacha bullshit? Like, it sucks that we have a whole generation of kids that are acclimated to that. It sucks. That was 4 months ago. Not to just exposed Western AAA's biggest problem.
There's something almost unsettling about Ananta when you first see it. Not because it looks bad. Actually, it's the opposite. It looks too ambitious, too dense, too alive. Like someone took GTA City Scale, Spider-Man's movement, Yakuza's street level chaos, anime aesthetics, and just said, yeah, put it all in. And the immediate reaction a lot of people had wasn't excitement. there was suspicion. This looks expensive, this looks overwhelming, this looks impossible to pull off. But the reaction is exactly why Ananta is so interesting. Because whether Ananta ends up being great or a complete mess doesn't actually matter as much as what it reveals. The fact that a game like this feels shocking tells you something is deeply wrong with Western AAA. Not in the sense that they're creatively bankrupt, but they're more risk-averse, overmanaged, and terrified of anything that doesn't fit neatly into a proven template.
What? Because AAA games in the Western Hemisphere is absolutely and utterly just eating itself alive. They don't know what they're fucking doing at this point because they have no idea what the gaming sphere and what they want in terms of the gaming sphere. It's kind of on the nose. If you're into gaming, you know what you want. But if you're a person that just eats shit, like eats a whole bunch of shit, like Jeff Keighley, I'm sorry, I'm putting his name out there, but he is the modern gamer. He has the modern gamer think. He was led to be a modern gamer. Therefore, that's what the gaming industry want. They want the modern gamer. But unfortunately, too many of these mofos that's on the internet are on the internet. So you got things like, you got videos that come out more competent from like legendary drops who, I mean, most of the people who are making these videos, by the way, are my age anyway. Talking about why your games are bad. And they don't listen. They don't listen. None of the AAA industry higher-ups listen at all. They keep losing money, and then eventually, if they are the reason why the market crashes again, they're gonna still blame us. So
Ananta doesn't feel like a revolution, it feels like a reminder. A reminder of what big games used to be like.
A reminder. I don't know.
What they used to try before budgets, before shareholders, before brand safety turned ambition into liability. And when you look at it through that lens, Ananta stops being anime GTA and starts becoming a mirror, one that reflects everything Western AAA has quietly trained itself not to do anymore. One of the most
The thing about Ananta is that it is trying to be everything. And if that's courageous, good for you. It's courageous, but it's also an absolute clusterfuck of too many things that's put together. There is no focus.
common reactions to Ananta wasn't that it looked bad or ugly or derivative. It was that it looked too busy, too much going on, too many people, too many systems. And one word keeps coming up: overwhelming. But that reaction says more about what we've been conditioned to expect from Western AAA than it does about Ananta itself. Because
yeah, there's like too much of there, but that doesn't make it like super pivotal to being a great game in the future. Well, he's talking about saying it's a great game. He's saying that they're trying to be everything. By the way, I see Saturn on the wall there. I miss Sega.
Western AAA open worlds today are massive, they're extremely expensive, and they're very technically impressive, yet they often feel strangely sterile. Cities look real.
That's true. There are some games that do pull off the realistic, but still being an awesome looking game in the first place. And you showed it, which was God of War, because there's still the fantasy within. You could still get with the fantasy within. It's not too realistic where it's like, oh yeah, definitely giant snake that I see every day.
But they don't feel lived in. NPCs exist to fill space, not to create friction between the players. Systems are carefully sandboxed so nothing truly unpredictable happens. You're rarely surprised by the world.
True.
You're guided through it. Everything is readable, safe.
Oh, he said it. He said guided. Yep, there it is.
And controlled. And that's not an accident. That's a design philosophy that Western AAA prioritizes. They prioritize clarity over chaos. It wants players to always understand what's happening, where to go, and what the game expects from them. And on paper, that sounds reasonable, but the side effect...
It's okay. Let me say this right now while I'm eating a piece of chicken. I'm about to bring the black philosophy in here. Listen, my friend. Games were chaos back in the day. Chaos, utter chaos, because everybody was experimenting with something. Platforming, racing, fighting, action combat, RPG, you name it, puzzle, mystery, text-based, pick your choice, all of that stuff. It was a time to experiment. First person shooters, sorry, forgot about that. But it was a time to experiment. People were pushing the bar. And you don't see that in AAA anymore. Not anymore. You see that in indie games, but you don't see that in AAA anymore.
Is that world stop feeling alive and start feeling curated, like theme parks, beautiful, expensive theme parks where every experience has been stress tested, approved,
Kind of like how Final Fantasy 14 kind of feels right now, you know what I'm saying?
and optimized to avoid discomfort. Ananta, by contrast, looks like it doesn't care if the city feels messy. Crowds spill everywhere, systems
That's Venom.
overlap. Movement is fast, exaggerated, almost reckless. The city doesn't feel like a backdrop. It feels like something
That's Uncharted 4.
that might get in your way, that might distract you or pull you off course.
That's GTA.
That's why it feels so overwhelming. Not because it's poorly designed, but because it's trying to protect the player from
Design-wise, whether it be poor or not poor, the thing is that it's too much. If you put all those system and mechanics together, then it does not have an identity. So Ananta doesn't really have an identity.
the world. Western AAA used to understand this. Older open world games weren't perfectly balanced or clean, but they felt reactive. You could break things, you could stumble into moments that weren't even scripted. That sense of unpredictability is what made those worlds feel so alive, even when the tech was far worse than they are today. Today, that unpredictability is treated as a liability. Chaos is harder to QA, dense systems are harder to certify, emergent behavior is harder to patch without breaking something else. So
There's one thing I can give credit for to some of these games that he's putting out there is that they know what they wanted to make. There was no ifs, ands, or buts on what they wanted to make. They made it, and they had mechanics and system that fit the game that they wanted to make. Ananta is not that. So, like,
studios sand it down, they simplify it, they reduce friction, and in doing so, they drain the world of its energy. Ananta doesn't look alive because it's bigger or prettier. It looks alive because it's willing to be uncomfortable.
I'll give it that, yeah. But we still haven't seen, like, the actual game, have we?
And the fact that this feels unusual in 2026 is the real indictment. Not of Ananta.
What the fuck was
The
that?
fact that this feels unusual in 2026
Oh. Oh, she's trying to get a picture of that. Why?
is the real indictment. Not of Ananta, but of Western AAA design itself.
Yeah,
one of the
'cause-
most revealing things about Ananta is how shameless it is. It doesn't hide its influences. It doesn't pretend it's invented swinging through a city, or stylish brawling, or dense urban sandboxes. It wears all of that on its sleeves and just goes for it. And that alone already puts it at odds with how Western AAA operates.
I kind of put it at odds against a lot of people in general. Yes, it's odds against AAA Western games for sure, but it also, like, all that shit culminated together is kind of like uncomfortable. Fortunately, there's a whole generation of people who probably look at this and say this is the best shit in the world.
Because Western AAA doesn't really do new anymore, not in any meaningful way. Innovation in that space usually means iteration inside an existing brand, a sequel that refines movement, a reboot that modernizes a tone.
That's just desperation. Them rebooting and redoing and remaking sequels or games that they had in the past is them being desperate because they don't have any creativity whatsoever. Like, what creativity do these people in the top sphere of gaming have? They have none. They have none, and every time they try to put a game out there, it flops, and they're trying to figure out why it keeps flopping. And it's like, bro, because you're not that guy. And then they try to hire people that supposedly has this creativity. Turns out they just don't have that talent anymore.
A bold new direction that still has to fit the expectations of a logo, a fandom, and a decade of accumulated baggage. New ideas aren't allowed to exist on their own. They have to justify themselves as extensions of something already proven. That's IP paralysis. When a project costs hundreds of millions of dollars, originality becomes a risk to be managed rather than a goal to pursue. Every mechanic has to be defensible in a meeting. Every design choice has to align with brand identity. Every deviation from the norm has to answer the question, what if this alienates our core audience? And slowly, the game stops being designed for players and starts being designed for approval.
You got to ask the question with these a lot, because there really isn't a problem with going after a core audience and having mechanics that does what it needs to do within a AAA space. The problem is what audience are they trying to go for? Who is that audience? Do they understand that audience? And a lot of the times it's no.
Anta flips that logic. It doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't soften its edges to fit into a legacy brand. It's maximalist remix, unapologetically pulling from everywhere and trusting that cohesion can emerge through energy and tone rather than strict identity rules.
That can be a problem in some form or fashion, though. If you don't have an identity, if you're making a game that doesn't centrally have it, like if you throw all this shit together, I'm sure there will be a lot of people who will enjoy the craziness of that. That's fine. And I can say that for sure because I played No More Heroes. If you haven't played No More Heroes, it's a pretty freaking good game. But that game was also chaos incarnate. That game was also like with a bunch of systems mechanics, and it knew what it was. The problem here is that Ananta doesn't feel like it's crazy for the sake of gameplay and craziness for the player. It feels like it's crazy and off the wall with its genre because it's doing so much. It's doing so much to try to captivate as many people as possible within the chaos.
That kind of confidence is something Western AAA has largely traded.
Like, this isn't chaos for chaos sake. This is controlled chaos. It's being chaotic because it's trying to hit every single bar.
Out of. What's ironic is that Western AAA still markets itself as cinematic.
And to be fair, No More Heroes is also controlled chaos, but it's more wild. I'll be fair. I'll be fair. No games like No More Heroes, it's absolutely controlled chaos, but it just feels off the frickin' wall. Whereas Ananta is just everything. It's trying to do everything.
Ambitious and boundary pushing, while functionally sticking to the safest possible structures. The result is a generation of games that look incredible, but feel strangely familiar within minutes. You know the rhythms, you know the systems, you know where the design will and won't let you go. Ananta, for all its risk, doesn't feel like that. It feels reckless, and recklessness is exactly what Western AAA just can't afford anymore. Just look at Ubisoft. Not because it lacks talents or ideas, but because its entire production culture punishes deviation.
No, Ubisoft is just filled with a bunch of idiots. It's not like they can't make a chaotic game. They've made a few. The Rabbit games is an example. Rayman is an example. They have chaotic games. The problem is, they don't trust it.
So when people look at Ananta and say, oh, this looks like too much.
Like, okay, go ahead.
What they're really saying is, this doesn't look approved. And that tells you everything about how narrow West.
No, it is too much. It is too much. It's not approved. I don't need to approve anything, and I don't think it needs to be approved by anybody. It's just too much. Ananta is too much. That's what it is. It's too much.
From AAA's creative lane has become. Ananta looks expensive. That's one of the first things.
Like, having a game that's off the wall and crazy on everything does not make a game to be like, hold on, sorry about this, I gotta go back here. It doesn't make a game, let me take this, there we go, sorry about that, had to get my chat here. There we go. It doesn't make a game that is competent. It doesn't make a game that is, because it looks like, the chaos looks like something that, I want to say that it looks like it's planned, right? It's like planned chaos, because these are gacha games. Well, I guess it used to be a gacha game, and then they took it out, and I still don't know anything about why they were doing that, but it's probably still going to feel like that. I mean, just a few seconds ago, what did we see? We saw Spider-Man mechanics. Why do they put Spider-Man mechanics in there? Because they know that Spider-Man is a fun game to play as, so they're just going to throw it in there. Why is GTA in there? Because they know GTA 6 is going to be a great game when it comes out, so they're throwing that in there. Then they have the regular gacha mechanics. Why did they throw in the city in there? There's a whole bunch of other things that I probably can't describe that is all just stuffed back into Ananta. So it's like, when you have all this, again, it does not have its own identity.
Everyone notices. The city density, the animation work, the sheer number of systems, all
That I will give it. The animation work is amazing.
stacked on top of each other. It looks like a game that should cost a fortune. That's exactly
Honestly, if you put a price on this and actually have a story that's more cohesive and that it's not a live service, I'd probably play it.
why it feels so strange when you compare it to Western AAA. Because Western AAA already spends this kind of money and somehow
They're idiots. Western AAA or they're idiots spending $700 million fucking dollars to make Call of Duty, and they think that they're gonna make all that money back in like, you know, one post haste. People are tired of that shit, man. I'm just saying. They're
feels
tired.
safer
People are
than ever.
tired.
That's the paradox. In theory, massive budgets should enable experimentation, more resources, more time, more rooms to try things.
That's
But in
actually true.
practice, Western AAA budgets have created a culture where every design decision has to be justified in financial terms. When something costs too much, failure stops becoming a learning experience and starts being a career-ending event. And once that happens,
That's also
fun
true.
itself becomes too risky. So Western AAA shifts towards things that are predictable: visual fidelity, cinematic presentation.
Is that
Realism.
is that's not the game that we're, because that's not Crimson Desert, is it? We're not looking at Crimson Desert because Crimson Desert actually looks pretty good.
Emotional beats delivered through cutscenes. These are impressive, measurable, and
I don't think
easy
that
to
was
sell.
Crimson
You
Desert.
can point to them in a trailer and say, this is where all the money
Wait, yeah, I don't think that's Crimson Desert. I don't think that was Crimson
What you
Desert.
can't easily justify is playful excess.
I might be wrong though,
Systems that exist just because they're entertaining.
because Crimson Desert does look good because they're steering away from the live service. The game looks expensive to fucking make, but like it looks good because it looks good like a single player game, and it's huge. We already seen like what the world looks like.
Mechanics that overlap in messy ways. Features that don't obviously serve the main loop but make the world feel richer. Those are hard to defend when the budget spreadsheet is already terrifying. Ananta looks like it's spending money in the opposite direction. Not just on polish, but on density, on motion, on systems colliding with each other. It feels like a game that wants you to play in its world, not just move through it towards.
Yes, that indeed. It does indeed. Last part before going back to Ananta was Crimson Desert, but the rest I don't think so.
The next
Okay.
narrative beat. That doesn't mean it will succeed, but it does mean it's prioritizing a different set of design values.
Don't. This is part of the issue. When you see something like this,
That doesn't mean it will
and it's like, oh, this is Spider-Man. What is the first thing that you're going to think?
succeed, but
This is Spider-Man. Why is it Spider-Man? Why does it need to copy Spider-Man? Copying a mechanic like this or a system like this is not very endearing.
it
I'm
does
sorry.
mean it's prioritizing a different set of design
I'm
values.
sorry.
Western AAA didn't lose its ability to make fun games. It boxed itself into a production model where fun is something you add after everything else is approved.
Talking
And
about the
by then
cutscene with
it's
the knight?
usually too
Okay, yeah.
late. So when
Alright.
people look at Ananta and say this looks like a lot, they're not wrong. But the real question is why Western AAA stopped believing that a lot was worth doing in the first place.
Fair point. Fair point. He has a fair point with that one. He does have a very fair point with that one. I can only say this. From what we've learned now from AAA, from the AAA and what they've been doing, the top don't listen. The mid managers apparently mid and low management try to talk to upper management about all these things. Ubisoft is a very good example. When Sandfall came out with Expedition 33 and rocked the world with it, apparently the Ubisoft execs and higher ups were like, well, we can't do that. That's not our scope. You know, that only happens once in a while or something like that. And everybody in Ubisoft is like facepalming, like, are you guys idiots?
One of the strangest parts of the
Like,
reaction to Ananta is how quickly
I wish I
skepticism
could.
around
I should show that
monetization
video,
shows up.
honestly.
People immediately assume there's a catch, a gacha system, aggressive paywalls, psychological traps hiding under the surface.
Yeah, like, come on. That's Spider-Man. That's not endearing.
And to be fair, that caution isn't irrational, but it didn't come from nowhere. Of course, Chinese games are known for having aggressive gacha systems. However, I'd say Western AAA is more of the culprit in training players to think this way. For years,
That is also true, yeah. Monopoly Go is indeed that. My whole family plays Monopoly Go, and they still don't know why I don't play it. And I keep telling them, Monopoly Go is a waste of time.
the Western AAA model has drifted towards double or triple dipping. You pay full price up front, Then you nudge towards season passes, cosmetic stores, battle passes, timed event, limited time bundles, layers of monetizations stacked on top of a premium purchase. Even games that aren't technically live service borrow the language and psychology of live service designs. Engagement becomes a metric.
Crazy that NetEase is
retention
part of
becomes
that.
a priority, and design decisions quietly shift to serve those goals. You compare that directly with Chinese games, for example, Where Winds Meet. The game is entirely free, and all the systems within it exist for free. Every expansion, every gameplay update, then gacha and cosmetics and expensive boats all come as an optional extra for those who truly love the game. The result
That is not something that we should just sit here and just be used to. Just because it's an option for people to come in and start paying for shit, a $300 boat or $3,000 boat or something like that. That boat was expensive as fuck. Why are we just okay with that? That's the question. Why must somebody, or why would somebody spend thousands of dollars in a single fucking game that could shut down the next day and they get nothing for it? What you spend isn't tangible. The only tangible thing is the entertainment you get for paying for the game. If you're playing the game for free, it is your time. It is your time versus how much you really. It's your time versus how much you're entertained by the game.
of Western AAA's decisions in monetization is that players no longer trust their intent. When a Western AAA developer, for example Activision, introduces a system,
like,
the first question
I'm not
isn't,
defending
"Is this
Eastern
fun?"
games
It's,
neither. Come
"What's
on.
this setting me up to buy later?" That erosion of trust didn't happen overnight. It was cultivated. Now contrast that with Ananta's positioning. It's presented as free-to-play, with monetization focused on customization, outfits, vehicles, housing, rather than pay-to-win progression. That doesn't automatically make it virtuous by any means. Free-to-play always comes with a few trade-offs, and it's smart to stay skeptical. But the perception difference does matter. Western AAA charges you $70 and it still feels like it's negotiating with you afterwards. Ananta asks you for nothing upfront and immediately gets treated as suspicious.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That inversion says everything about how badly Western AAA damaged its relationship with its audience.
Not really, because free-to-play is free. Games like Ananta, where it's a free-to-play gacha game, ruined its own reputation for Eastern gamers, for those who are paying attention. For a lot of people who are just playing their game for free and they want to waste a lot of time in the games that they play for free, for one thing, they're not very varied on the games that they play. They're playing these free-to-play games because they kind of entrap you in this certain mindset. And I should know, again, I've been trapped in that world for a while. But free-to-play games are not forgiven. Of course, it's given the skepticisms that they've gotten, which he does explain. He does explain in this, but you shouldn't sit there and say, well, it's an option to give them your support. It should be, for saying, I always say this, it should be that there should be kind of like maybe like a small paywall to get into the game or something like that. The reason for it is because you can directly support the game and get something out of it because you're paying for quality. Free-to-play games does not guarantee quality. It does not guarantee anything. It's free. And after that, it's all up in the air what the hell they do to you, which I think is not good.
What's ironic is that many AAA studios justify aggressive monetization by pointing to rising costs. The same rising costs that supposedly force them to play it safe creatively. And
the rising cost is just them being idiots. The rising cost is them being idiots. Come on. Why are you spending $100 million on something like Call of Duty when they've been copying and pasting the same shit for years? Now, $100 million is not even that much for big companies like that, but 700 million, 500 million? That's crazy. It's a lie. It's a lie.
yet those monetization strategies often end up making games feel more constrained, more padded, and less honest. Ananta hasn't earned their trust yet. Yes, NetEase has been on a generational run so far, but it still has to prove itself trust yet. Yes, NetEase has been on a generational run so
Generational run? No, NetEase is still a company to be worried about. Come on.
far, but it still has to prove itself with every release. but the fact that people are hoping it isn't predatory while expecting Western AAA to be reveals how low the bar has fallen. And once players stop giving you the benefit of the doubt, no amount of polish can buy the trust back. Again, just look at Ubisoft. The word that keeps following Ananta around is overwhelming. And unlike the other criticisms, this one actually matters. Because this is the point where excitement and skepticism intersect, and where the entire argument could collapse if you're not careful. Ananta is doing a lot. Movement systems, combat styles, city density, customization, tonal shifts. It's all being thrown at the player at once. That ambition is what makes it stand out, but it also could be what breaks it. There's a real risk that this becomes a Frankenstein game. Shallow versions of great ideas stitched together without the depth to sustain them.
Sorry to tell you, but this is exactly what it is. So, this is exactly what it is. It's going to be a hit for a lot of people because they've already created their core customers through the years upon years upon years of this generation of gamers playing the same schlop over and over again from Eastern gamers. It's not just Western gamers or Western game companies is a problem. It's also the Eastern game companies because they keep making shit like this because they know it works. Is less likely for people to get tired of this kind of stuff because it just kind of hits them since it was always aimed at them. They've created their own monsters of customers. I shouldn't say monsters, that's rude. They've created their own victims.
Western AAA avoids this problem by narrowing scope, and to be fair, that restraint often results in polish, but it also results in sameness. Ananta is choosing the
That's rude to the
trade-off,
monsters?
breadth
Come on.
first, cohesion later. That is dangerous, but it is also how some of the most memorable games in history were made. And even in recent history, Where Winds Meet is this extremely ambitious game with dozens of systems that shouldn't work on paper, but end up being extremely cohesive. There's no reason why Ananta, that's also published by NetEase, can't
Get
do
the fuck
exact
outta
same
here.
thing. But if those elements don't
No. And giant mecha monster. Okay.
interlock, if they exist in parallel rather than conversation, the game risks feeling disjointed rather than alive. And then there's the trailer problem. Trailers are curated, they show peak moments, ideal conditions, systems working in harmony. Western AAA has trained us to be wary of that too. We've seen vertical slices sell fantasies that the final product couldn't sustain for more than a few hours. So
Yeah,
yes,
that was a
Ananta
problem,
could
yeah.
absolutely fail. It could be too unfocused, too
Is that a problem now? Still, yeah. But at the very least, it's getting closer and closer to like, okay, we're not really trying to sell you some bullshit. At least some of the AAA games like that nowadays, they show up front a lot of the gameplay and we still judge it. Like, this is actually kind of shit.
shallow, too chaotic to maintain long-term
This is
engagement.
GTA shit right
But
here.
Here's a crucial point. Even that failure would be instructive, because Western AAA didn't stop taking risks because risks stopped working. It stopped because failure became unacceptable. Ananta is reminding us what it looks like when a studio is still willing to gamble, when ambition hasn't been completely filtered through fear. And
Ananta is showing what it means to try to throw everything at the wall and not really thinking about the cohesion of what they're trying to make. Because they know Spider-Man works, GTA works, and a lot of the mechanics that they've seen in a lot of other past games works. This is all shit being thrown on the wall. That's all that is.
overwhelming is the cost of that ambition, then maybe the problem isn't that Ananta is doing too much. Maybe it's that Western AAA forgot how to do anything without asking for permission
No, it's them doing too much. No, it's them doing too much.
first. Whether Ananta ends up being great or completely falls apart, it already did something Western AAA hasn't managed in years. It made people stop and feel something. Excitement, suspicion, curiosity, even disbelief. And
Excitement, suspicion, curiosity, and disbelief. That's true. I can give them that.
the fact that a single trailer could provoke that range of reaction tells you how starved that space has become. Ananta doesn't expose Western AAA because it's perfect. It exposes it because it's trying to be loud, trying to be messy, trying to be more than a neatly managed product, designed to survive a boardroom. Western AAA still has that talent, the money, and the technology to make games like this, but it no longer has a production culture that allows them to exist. If Ananta succeeds, it proves that limits Western AAA keeps citing, scope, density, creativity, systemic chaos, were never technical constraints, they were institutional ones. Self-imposed rules built around risk management, IP protection, and shareholder comfort. And if Ananta falls,
Look at
the
this.
rules built around risk management, IP protection, and shareholder comfort. And if Ananta falls, the lesson is just as uncomfortable. It means the audience is still willing to root for ambition, even when it's dangerous. It means players would rather see a game reach too far than watch another perfectly polished iteration that never surprises them. Ananta isn't a blueprint, it's a stress test, a reminder that safe and good are not the same thing, and that somewhere along the way, Western AAA started treating them as if they were.
I'm sorry to say this to you, buddy. Ananta is them throwing shit at the wall. No matter how you look at it, it's them throwing shit at the wall. Saying China versus Western AAA. No. China, Japan, they have their own issues. Western AAA has their own issues. It's just two sides of the same coin. One, however, is not full of shit and not covered in mud. The other one looks like it's a golden plaque, but it still has its dents and it still has its problems. That's the eastern side. So no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's an interesting video. I'll say that for sure, because he makes a lot of good points. But unfortunately, because of how both sides are, everybody has to be on their toes when it comes to these games, man. Everybody has to be on their toes. Let's get into it. Let's see. Luna's playing Marvel Rivals right now. She's really into Marvel. He might have just seen people play it. I don't know. Oh, it's there. It took a while for it to pop in. I don't know. Whether he played it or not, the point is that where winds meet is just another... It's another game with even more free-to-play bullshit nannikins, right? Thanks for being part of the pre-release Vaultbreakers. Here's 300 Legacy to start you off in the Codex. Gratefully, Beta Dwarf.
Hello, friend. Greetings, champion.
Oh, look at that.
Our path is clear.
So... Yes, actually they did. They have like a whole list of stuff, so I have to look into that. Uh-huh. That's still the same. got chests to loot this time. Yep. Oh, okay. So they still have the thing where... Hey, what's up, Solus? Okay, yeah, they still have the thing. There's supposed to be new stuff, so we'll get to the new stuff.
I know these wolf would go. The wind's turning.
So there's still this. You did some WoW raiding. Yeah, I'm going to need all of that because I got to rebuild my chest. I gotta rebuild everything, man. Still got the bushes. Okay. And of course, rescue, gotta do some little rescuing. Rescue Atos the Phoenix King. And now I gotta regather everybody, I guess.
They prowl in the shadows. Don't follow me. You won't like where I roam.
And look what we have here. Nice. Alright, and this is just to take us home. Oh, I gotta regather everything. There's some... I mean, in general, there are some quirks to those abilities. But for the most part, your abilities that you use are actually like level introduced. So as long as you're growing different tiers, like for instance, new perks, right? So as you grow in terms of, these are your main abilities. They're not really tied down to like your to what you wear here. Some of your passives, of course, is on these for sure, but not your abilities.
Speak from your heart. The light is within you.
Talk to Eos. Place a core shard and ley lines. It's something they just added for this playtest. You mean some of the abilities or some of the passive abilities? Let me see. Go ahead. Make this first thing. Yeah, for sure. What the fuck? Go to a Leyline Crystal and upgrade the first ability. Upgrade. Let's see. That's storage. Loadout. Oh. I need one core shard. That will be that. And then... Don't show again. Okay. And there we go. Okay. Alright, hold on. Hold on. I have the Vaultbreakers thing right in front of me. And here's the patch notes. I have the patch notes in front of me. Alright, update kickoff newest playtest. We've added a handful of new features, balance changes, quality of life improvements, bug fixes, and this week you will be able to experience all of this. As always, we love to hear your thoughts and feedback as it helps us improve the game. Performance, loading game, memory usage improvement, improved photo rendering, new enemies have been added, reworked the main quest line for the first Vault Break event. Mini quest rewards reworked to support new ability items. So mini quest rewards. Darkness rework. New darkness effect and behavior added to the elemental and Gandric caves. Torches added to maps in darkness areas, but darkness radius is now smaller. New spirit artifacts, sorry, added to the second vault. Refinery map extended in size. New mini area and coming soon. Gas mask and poison rework. Storm summoner removed along with its building requirement. Silverhook Sam and Goldbelly location. The mission updated. Bear Cave is no longer locked. Multiplayer environment effects, SFX and VFX updates. Updated Doom Burst Cactus name and location available. Chest types and location updated. Bra now patrols the area, or Balra now patrols the area. Or now drops from various elementals. Channeling removed from tutorial matches. I mainly don't like the idea of gear having abilities in a game where you lose your gear on loss. I mean, that's the thing about extractions, man. Okay. I mean, I don't know whether or not the main abilities are affected by this, because the main abilities are the ones that you're going to be using, but we'll see. We'll see how that works. All health bars are now green, so they do not impart information about if a given entity is an enemy or a friend. You will have to find that out in other ways. Really. Wounds are dark green, so they do not appear similar to shields and are thematically better linked to health. Party member names now appear in blue in missions as well. This was only the case in the Haven before. Add a primary quest line icon and differentiate primary quests and other quests to the world. Hopefully this helps players make easier decisions about what to pursue when in doubt. Let's see. Combat balance, Vaultbreaker ability available from the start have been reworked. Gear slots reworked. Ability items added for deeper playstyle expression and customization. 3 times class ability items, 7 times gear abilities, 2 times weapon abilities. Balance changes for playable Vaultbreakers. Dev comments: with so many new ability items added, the balance is hard to predict. We've tried tweaking some things based on the last test, but not overreacting too much before we see how ability items affect the game for the changes. The big outlier last test was Namira being too strong and Lemuri being too weak. Oh, wait, no, they adjusted Bjorner. I was like, wait a minute. Namir's energy recast rework was a bit too demanding. Namir's ultimate was a bit too strong for PvP when staggered. So, I say, Wild Swing energy reduced from 20 to 10. Basic attack gain on hit is 0 to 5. Basic attack slow increases from 20%. Oh, wait. Sparkwing Empowered Vortex base damage increased from 50 to 150. Okay, that's fine. Because it's not Bjornir, and I don't think they... Okay. Basic attack hold self slow increases from 20 to 25%. So he's slower. His energy gain reduced from 20 to 10. Okay, so he doesn't get his abilities as fast. Basic attack has energy gain on hit from 0 to 5. Okay. I see. Balance changes to the enemies. Okay. Inventory. Gold stacks increase. Gold stack increased to 2,500. Gold pouch increased to 5,000. Storage space and storage pressure are something we are constantly considering. We are planning a bigger revamp of storage in one of the coming updates, make it less restrictive, but we want to already ease the pressure mid to late game now. Storage upgrades now only got cost gold. Okay, storage upgrades now cost gold. In the line of the gold stack change, we want to make it easier to upgrade storage space earlier, and the very specific materials needed, we're slowing that down. This change is part of the bigger revamp that is coming to storage, but it was something we could easily do now. Junk item types updated. Updates made to hover stats and multiple item types and information or info communication. Most importantly, you can now see the item that a crafting recipe creates. I'm probably going to have to go into the Discord again and figure out where I can find all my peeps again, because I need to find them again. I know where to find the inventory guy. Like, I just got to remember where they are. Haven build reward structures. Okay, force. How much do I? Oh my god. Bug fixes. Okay, we can come back to the bug fixes. Codex features. All rewards are kept intact. Okay, let me see. Haven building reward structure updated. Force choices removed on upgrade path. We love when players have to make a choice, especially when they are something that might lead to a different choice in the future seasons, but the upgrade we tried out for the building didn't feel impactful enough, and they felt too one-sided. Subsequently, the choice just felt annoying. Some recipes can now be learned directly through the inventory by reading recipe books. Crafting items and unlocking paths updated. Challenges now unlock a 50 leyline energy. Vaultbreaker abilities added to the Vaultbreaker selection screen. A long time coming, we know. Loading tips updates to reflect the current design and lore. Bjorner replaced Thora as the wishlist unlockable character. New players were incentivized to try out this new Vaultbreaker they just unlocked, and Thora was not a good fit for that. Key binding option updated. Yay, among other things. We have removed the game using the universal back command to exit minus. Because players were experiencing issues using the side buttons on their mouse for Discord or similar use while playing. This means they will have to use the escape key instead of the side button back to exit menus if you used that before. All perks for a given Vaultbreaker are now visible with tooltips information in the perk screen with additional information about when and how to unlock them if relevant. This is just a codex. All rewards. Rewards you can get from the codex are abilities, perks, chromas and skins, emotes, and marks. Okay. Alright. Okay. Oh, Hunter's Lodge.
I'll be around. Closer than you think.
Oh, I have the thing for that. Okay. Yeah. It's always the case. Yeah, yeah, we always need that. Check out the workbench in the Haven. This is pick up daily resources. Here's my storage. So there's the fireball wand. Okay. Bunch of stuff. Bunch of stuff we're gonna have to figure out. Yeah. There's our Vaultbreakers. Oh, that's pretty cool. They got the 3D looks now. To unlock him, please support the da. What does that mean? Alright, gotta play my dragon. Gotta play my dragon. Alright, and then there's the workbench. What was the thing that I was supposed to do? Check out the workbench. Okay, just needed to check out the workbench. Attack the road, teleport to... Okay. Okay, what do I get? It's a new ability. It's a grappling hook. Grapple hook to stun, pull yourself to targets, and gain attack speed. I'm getting a lot of flashbacks to Scramble Nights. So, okay. I could save that. I could save that, yeah. Now, or value. That's funny. Alright, locate whoever was attacked in the ancient tower and teleport to the Wolves Woods. Build a hunter's lodge in the Haven. Okay, and what does this need? What does this need? Oh, I need basic building shit. Okay. Have 30. Gain ability to use the teleport shrine to fast travel between locations. Can I do that? I cannot. You need to empower abilities to even do anything. Oh, yeah, for Lemuri. I see. Applies a zap. Okay. They've changed some of this stuff, which is fine. Still have certain abilities. I still have that. And there's still that's locked. After launch, building upgrade, in development, and everything else. I'm pretty sure everything else is also being looked at in terms of areas. Ooh. This is me going out for the first time again. Here we go. This could be very punishing. Do not expect to survive most of them. All enemies can attack and be avoided with practice. Talk to Goldbelly in the Haven. He still has stuff that was lost, right? I thought the elemental caves were open. Do 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 do. And I can't pickaxe that, right? Yeah, I need a pickaxe. Whoa, forgotten champion. Oh, okay, I see. So somebody was attacking that. Okay. Forgotten champion is level 98, so. There's new stuff, new materials in here. There's a new material. That's open now? So why is this? Oh, I was like, why is this open? Oh. So I thought they got rid of him. Guess he's just walking around. I think somebody's using those. Hold on. Learned my freaking lesson last time, man. Yeah, it's still just as stress-inducing as always. Oh, I see there's an exclamation point up there just as well. I need to... I guess I need to go and... Oh, yeah, that's the, what's-his-face? I need him. In-game boss. There she goes. She's trying. She's doing her best. Oh, he almost dead! Live! Live! Get out of there! Oh my goodness. Somebody's playing Bjorner, of course. One of them was about to be dead as a doornail. But I do need to get that one character, like, super early. Okay. There's a circuit orb, or fifth circuit orb. Some extra charge, dealing an additional, ooh, and knockback. Okay. I won't get the extra slot until 5.
Hello? Soon? Hello?
Oh yeah. He has it's money, honey. Not enough space. Let me go fix that. Go fix that issue. Okay, I just want to be able to dump all of that in there, but like, now this is weird. The self-forged hide, spell-forged hide. That's new. This is also new. The scepter of... it's a scepter. Oh, it's a weapon for Lemiri. That is funny. Let's see. Oh, 231. Invisibility! I'll need that. Yep. There's the bandage. Heal over time. Heal 10% health over 10 seconds. Forgot about that. Check out the research, alchemy, and furnace, which I don't have yet.
See anything you like?
Yeah, I don't have much money. This is still affordable though. Okay. Yeah, I need to get supplies. I do want to get that one guy though, so we'll have to check in on that one. All right, so it does seem like this game is still the same as it always was, which is fine by me. I like this game. How some of the stuff is, I don't know. I'll figure that out. Was she playing VR chat? I don't know. Okay. Alright. I'm going to sign out for now. And we'll continue on our little Indie Observer escapade later. So, thank you for joining me. I will see you guys later. Have a good night. And this is all Vaultbreakers week. I'm going to have to do a lot of the 14 stuff on my own, so...